Hey world, it's your girl Linda Starr, and we're back with another episode of Journey to Essence Fest, an Artist's Tale. Once again, I'm your girl Linda Starr, and on this episode, episode 2, we're going to be talking about New and Next. So that's the name of the New and Next artist competition that I did at Essence Festival, and we're going to get right into it. How I found out about Essence Fest New and Next artist competition was so crazy because in 2022 I was shooting a music video for my single Save Us, and I was shooting that video to commemorate the 5-year anniversary of its release. So my debut single was entitled Save Us, so I wanted to do a live session version of it. So I hired a couple of musicians. You know, they were all fantastic, and we shot it at Make Life Studios in Brooklyn, and it was just an amazing experience. So I had planned to release the video on May 19th or 20th. I just remember it was a Friday, and as I was scheduling the premiere on YouTube for the video, I remember I got a text message from my friend Palana, who I did the program, an entertainment program with, entitled The Ween Academy, back in 2014. So literally she texted me, she was just like, hey girl, here's an opportunity that I think, you know, you'll be a good fit for. So that's why, side note, that's why you always gotta have friends that look out for you and who, you know, support you, because they know, like, they see things that you may not see yourself, and you gotta just keep those people close to you, because those are the people that you thank when you get your Grammy. You know. So yeah, she sent me the link to the competition, and when I looked at the date, it said deadline May 20th, and I was like, oh my gosh, at midnight. And I was like, oh my gosh. And mind you, I think the premiere of the Save Us live session video was at 8 o'clock. So I'm like flipping out. I was like, oh my gosh. But then as far as the requirements, they said, okay, you had to submit a video that was less than 3 minutes. The Save Us live version, live session, it was 4 minutes long. So the video itself was 4 minutes long. I'm literally like, what am I gonna do? Y'all, I just went straight to iMovie. I literally reduced it to 3 minutes, and I was just like, Lord, whatever, like wherever it stops, even if I'm like mid-note, mid-lyric, mid-verse, I don't care. Like I have to submit that. Like it's gonna look crazy, but I'm gonna just send it. So I reduced it to 3 minutes. I uploaded a video, submitted it. I prayed on it. I was like, Lord, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna leave it in your hands. Because a few weeks prior to that, I performed at the Apollo Theater's Amateur Night on May 11th. And I was one of the top 3 winners. And I was really, really devastated because at first, well, either way, I was still grateful for the opportunity, but at the same time, I was just like, man, like I was just sad that I didn't win first place. And you know how sometimes like your friends, they would say things like, oh yeah, you know, you did great, but you didn't win first place, like just things like that. So like some of those thoughts were still like in my head, like, man, you know, like I did the best I could. I sang Aretha Franklin, but at least I didn't get booed. So, you know, I'm super grateful for that. You know, just being an artist, you know, you always want to do better the next time. So, you know, with all those thoughts in mind of just like, how can I be better? How can I do this? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know what? Let me just submit this. Whatever happens, happens. I'm literally just gonna leave it in God's hands. I literally said that. So I was just like, all right. That night I went to bed. I prayed and I was just like, Lord, like, thank you for this opportunity. Let your will be done. And then that Monday, my sister and I were going to a taping of the Wendy Williams show. And if you've ever been to a taping of well, I guess now Sherry Show. But if you ever been to like any of like the Wendy Williams tapings and things like that, you would know that at a certain point you don't have service. Like once you like scan, once you go to the security, it's just like you have to do the whole Lion King to find service, right? So literally I was on like one tiny little bar, and I checked my email because something told me to check my email. So I checked my email, and it says, congratulations, you've been selected as a finalist for the New and Next Artist competition, and how the grand prize to be selected to perform at the Caesars Superdome the following year. So that was a grand prize, to win a chance to perform at the Caesars Superdome at one of the super lounges, right? I was I was just so shocked because I was just like, oh my gosh, like I was selected. Like they, I think in the email it said, out of like hundreds of submissions, the team reviewed it and they loved it. So I was just so grateful for the opportunity. But then literally Essence Fest was starting, I think that year, it was like June 29th. Yeah, it was like June 29th. So I had less than a month to like get everything ready. So yeah, like I was just like, how am I getting my flight? How am I getting my hotel? Like by this time, hotels are already booked to the brim at Essence Fest. So literally, I went on Airbnb. I searched whatever Airbnb I could find. Y'all, that was the most sketchiest Airbnb ever. It was in a good neighborhood. It was like probably like a 10-minute walking distance from the Superdome, which was really, really convenient. But like I said, it was like at this like loft. Some guy, like this really, really young guy owned it. I think he said he was a dancer, but then like it was just like he left like his shavings on the sink. Like it was just bad. And then the room, as far as the room, it was just like a mattress on the floor. I think there was like a little, like, it wasn't like a full lock, but it was just really, really sketchy. Because mind you, I traveled there by myself. So yeah, I made it work. I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna just make the most of it. With Airbnb, I wasn't too happy. I reported like what happened, and they gave me some of my money back. But yeah, so I got my flight. The flight was cool from what I remember. The Airbnb was crazy. But yeah, so I got to the convention center, and then we did sound check, and I got some like behind the scenes because they partnered us with like an assistant, I guess, for the day. So I was really, really happy to get some footage, some behind the scenes, things like that. And yeah, so literally performance day, I remember I had my Pyramis, and I think I was trying to charge it, and then I couldn't find the charger, and then the charger didn't come in time. It was just so much happening. But then I had my water, I had my fruit, my usual like rituals before I sing. I read Psalms. I had like my little book of Psalms. I read Psalms, just to like still my mind, and just be in that mindset of just giving God glory no matter what happens. So I told myself, I said, okay, with this opportunity, I was like, no matter what happens, like no matter whether I win or lose, like I'm just grateful to be gracing that same stage that 21-year-old me took a photo in front of in 2013. So it was like everything was full circle. And I even get so emotional thinking about it now, because even getting that email about being selected as a finalist while I was at a Wendy Williams show taping, like me interning there, in season 4, like I would have never known. I would have never known I would have been selected like for that opportunity at that moment. So that's how you know that there's divine timing and everything. So when I think about that, it just gets me really emotional, and I'm just so thankful to God, and I just give him so much glory for the opportunity. So I get to the convention center, there's literally no service, but I'm like texting people, I'm letting them know like what time I'm performing, I'm sending them the link so they can stream online, things like that. It was just so crazy. So they had us in one section backstage, but then I don't know what happened. But then they like moved it. They were like, oh, like all the finalists for the competition, you guys have to move somewhere else. I said, okay, whatever. So so we're all the way like further in the back, and then I see the Brat, and I was just like, oh wow, like I was like, whoa, like she's literally a legend. So I walked up to her. I was just like, hi, the Brat. Introduced myself. I was just like, I just wanted to say that you are such a pioneer for female hip hop. Like you've just done so many incredible things, right? She's like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. Cool. Went about her business. Then, and then also I didn't get the email in time about who the judges were gonna be. So I'm just in my head just focusing or whatever, and literally they call me up. They're like, okay, you have your mic, you're good, ready, everything. I had my dress, but I wore these like purple earrings by a really a local like NOLA jewelry designer, because I wanted to show love for the community. I wanted to show love for New Orleans. Oh my gosh, I'm getting really emotional. I wanted to show love for NOLA, just to have that opportunity to perform and to represent NOLA in that way was really monumental, like looking back. So I'm so grateful to have been able to rock that jewelry from that designer, and just making everything intentional. Even the color from the color that I wore, the color purple. I think if I'm not mistaken, that's like the color of the New Orleans Saints. I don't know, or if it's not the color of the Saints, I know that's like the colors of New Orleans, like for like Mardi Gras. So like green, I know it's green, gold, and purple. I wore those colors to represent New Orleans. And as I was on that stage, I didn't even rehearse this, but I literally said, this is for all the women, all over the world. And I began singing, and it was just such a calming presence. Like I was meant to be there. Like I was supposed to be there. And nobody could tell me nothing, because I commanded that stage. Like I owned that stage, and that was my moment. And I earned it. I earned every single minute of that. Even down to Roxy Diaz, hosting that segment. I watched her growing up all throughout high school during 106 in Park. I even went to 106 in Park with my friends, and I saw Terrence and Roxy. That was another like full circle moment in itself. After I performed, I mean, there were like a few slip-ups, because that was like my first time wearing like boob tape. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, I need to find another brand of boob tape that doesn't like go all the way up, or I don't know. I need to explore it. Anyway, so as the judges, they gave so much great feedback. The Brat was just saying, like she can feel like the soulfulness in my voice, and the lyrics and things like that. And after they gave their feedback, even like Sheba Song, she gave her feedback as well. It was time to deliberate, and I remember them saying, I was just so nervous. I was just like, Lord, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But literally, they said the winner of the New Next Artist competition, it has to go to the one who asked, who's gonna save us? And I was like, oh my goodness. And then they said Linda Starr. I said, oh my gosh. Like I was just like, what? Like I was just in shock. And I remember just being in awe and just thanking everybody, thanking everyone that watched. I should have definitely plugged my Instagram. Like looking back, I should have definitely plugged my Instagram, because I thought that during the live stream they would have put my Instagram, but they didn't do that. We still here. So yeah, so literally that happened, and I just felt a wave of emotions. So like it was just a huge rush, right? So I'm coming down the stairs backstage, and I see Kevin Ross, the R&B singer Kevin Ross, and I was like, hi. And then, I introduced myself. I was like, I literally just won the New and Next Artist competition. So they said that I'll be performing at the Super Lounge at the Superdome. He was like, yeah, like, that's so dope. Like, congratulations. I actually performed at the Super Lounges too. So that's definitely a good look. That's how a lot of like artists like get started, things like that. So I was like, yeah, like just hearing that was just even more confirmation just as a performer, as an artist. So yeah, I got a photo with him, that was a moment. And then as I went to sit down, I was just minding my own business. I saw one of my favorite songwriters of all time just chilling on the couch, and I was just like, hello. And he was like, hey. And we just had a whole conversation about songwriting. And I think that's where I'll stop, because it was just like an out-of-body experience, just having a sit-down talk with Neo. I really got to like understand like his heart and his soul, and the way that he articulates his emotions so well in song. Like that can't be duplicated at all. So he shared with me some gems, and I was just a sponge. I was just absorbing it. He was talking about inspiration and just everything regarding a song, just getting in the mind of that other person, especially with writing for other artists, and just really getting into the craft. So I'm really, even to this day, I'm still appreciative of that advice that he gave me, and just him taking that time. And even there was like a message, like an alert that said, oh, like there's a kid missing or whatever. And then even just he kind of stopped, and he was just like, oh my gosh, I would feel like so terrible, like if that was like my kid. Like I don't know, like it was just so many of those moments that were just like very humanizing. So but yeah, we had a really great conversation. So y'all, just all of that, just processing that, and then seeing Janet Jackson later that night, my friend Cyrus calling me and just telling me his well wishes about the competition, and how he like his mom was in town for the festival, and that he would like leave tickets for me at Will Call to see New Edition. All of that happened, and come to find out, he was staying like 5 minutes from where I was, so it was just all God ordained. And so the New Edition concert was dope. Janet Jackson was phenomenal. So even though she's performing this year, I already saw her. Even though she's performing with Victoria Monet, I still need to see Victoria Monet. But anyway, seeing Janet Jackson, New Edition. And then literally like after the festival was finished, usually like I stay like a day after just to like decompress. And I was like, I'm gonna go to brunch. So I found like a local like brunch spot that was really popular for their food. And I walk in, and I was like, oh, excuse me, miss. I was like, how long is the wait? Because it was like a lot of people waiting. I was like, oh, how long is the wait? Because there was still people who didn't take their flights back yet. So I was like, how long is the wait? And she was just like, yeah, it's about an hour or so wait. I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden, my friend Cyrus comes out, and he's like, you lit? And I was like, what? Like, I cannot make this up, y'all. So literally he was just like, just come on, sis, come on. So we literally, I went to the back. It was him, his mom, his partner, and I think that was the first time like we officially met and things like that. So it was just a beautiful time for family, community, bonding, just the essence of humanity within that moment, and just everything that happened, just still reflecting on it to this day, like it still brings tears to my eyes. Like I said, I was getting emotional just talking about the jewelry and talking about the Carefree Black Girl, the Carefree Black Girl cookout, where I got the earrings and where I met my makeup artist. So shout out to Trinity, who did my makeup, because I was like, I didn't know how I was gonna do my makeup, but she hooked it up. And yeah, I literally did my makeup at her house. Whew, y'all, just talking about it just makes me emotional all over again. But if I could do it over again, I sure would. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2 of Journey to Essence Fest, Artist Tale, and stay tuned for episode 3. I'll see y'all next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend, so we can be friends till the end. All right, peace.